I once shared a maritime border with a boy so addicted to water he couldn't stop waving. He had a buoyancy about him. He had a hard time being anchored to anything that weighed him down. He was high tide and flood warning, and he couldn't stand waiting. It was the fin on his back that gave him away. Told me a whole lot about who he was and who he consumed, and I still can't get the salt white stale taste of his bite off the back of my tongue. Some people use ego as a flotation device, so that when the water levels rise, they stay afloat. Meanwhile, the rest of us, we take deep breaths and submerge ourselves as we wax hysteric about how we're down here looking for gold, searching for the lost city of at last us, how we're down here looking for the ship we sank with confidence. At last us, pretending we're down here discovering when the truth is as clear as my lack of gills. We'll be up for air soon, egos, just waiting on the high tide to carry us back to believing in ourselves. Believing in our blood-moving, heartbeat lung filler. Believing in things we can't even see, literally. Believing that when midnight calls us into her arms, it is best to close eyes, anchor fears, and give in, because we sleep when the sky tells us to. Says her moon attracts the ocean. Says when they get going, things get tidal. Like that one time I consumed too much high fructose corn syrup before bed and had a nightmare that I could fly. Spread arms and took to the sky, lost control, scraped bare belly on pavement, woke up tired and in pain. Unable to go back to sleep, I held conversation with Moon about how I once shared a maritime border with an ocean, so afraid of evaporating she had to swell and crest and break just to make her presence known. Moon and I, we remember a time when the ocean was just ocean, and the sky was just sky, when people were just people. We remember a time before we learned about depth and layers and fucking people. How they themselves can be as deep and dark and as unexplored as oceans. How to put this delicately, your ego, though just as delicate, is much larger than a butterfly wing. You know what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying. I'm reaching out to you in hopes that we can share your flotation device, because the ocean is carnivorous and the sky is ambivalent, and I'm just tired of holding my breath, waiting for the surface, waiting for the surface, waiting for the... Here I am. Doggy paddle, breaststroke, and butterfly, kicking my feet to stay alive. Too often I get sucker punch drunk by a moment. I get so dizzy from falling off myself that I forget that people like you are my parachutes. I forget from scraping my chest so often. I forget that your ego is just your confident way of saying, hey, stupid. I've got you by your shoulders. I'm right here when you need me. I'll be open and we'll fall together slowly. And there you are again, ocean, with the support of the sky.